Hi guys, hope you're all well. Today I am just bringing you a short video and it is another compilation video of missing men in Ireland. Some of these, again, there's just so little information on them and some of them have a little bit more, but obviously all of them are worth talking about and reporting on. So unfortunately at the moment I'm not able to really record proper videos, so this is actually just going to be audio today, and I will put as much visual information up as I can. So yeah, we're just going to get straight into it. So the first one is one of the shorter ones that doesn't have a lot of information, but it is actually only from last year. So on the 10th of August 2023, 47-year-old Brant Emery, who was from County Clare, was last seen at around 7:20 p.m. in Liscannor, County Clare. Brandt is described as 6 foot tall, average build, with blonde hair, blue eyes, and he had a beard at the time that he went missing. He also has tattoos on his right wrist and left forearm. When he was last seen, he was wearing a black top, black trousers, and black shoes that had a cream sole. Unfortunately, this is all the information I have on Brant's disappearance. Again, it is quite recent, so if you have any information, I will leave the details where you can contact the Gardaí. So the next one is from a little while ago, and it is actually about a man who went missing in Wales, but there is an Irish connection. So 72-year-old John Michael Birtles was from Goodwick, Pembrokeshire in Wales. He's described as 5'10" with grey hair, which is receding, and he was of a thin build. So he is last seen on the 26th of September 2006. This was when he was reported missing from his home. And then unfortunately on the 2nd of October, his car was found at, and I know I'm going to say this wrong, so I'm sorry, Abermawr, near Fishguard, which was North Thames coast. So I'll put up some maps so you can have an idea of it and have an idea of kind of where it is in relation to Ireland. His car was a dark blue Ford Fiesta. The registration was X445KOF or K0F. When he was last seen, he was wearing brown trousers with a brown cardigan, and he had a light shirt underneath and brown shoes. So he was in his 70s. Friends and families were obviously, questioned, and any inquiries there didn't seem to lead anywhere. John had lived in Limerick till 1998. Now, I don't know if that means that he was actually Irish and had then moved over there, or had he just lived in Ireland for some time. Because of the age, I have a feeling that maybe there was some sort of dementia or Alzheimer's coming on, or maybe he did have it and they didn't report on it. But typically I find that in these situations they will kind of at least hint at that. So I don't know if it could be a case that he decided he wanted to come back to Limerick. Maybe in his old age he decided to settle here. I think the fact that his car was left where it was deems that it could be something that he chose to do, whatever ending that meant. Yeah, there's not a lot on this one as well. So whether he actually made it over to Ireland or not, but because of the Irish connection, I decided I would include it. Again, I will leave up the information for the Gardaí and also for the police over in Wales. Right guys, so this next one is actually the one that I probably have the most information on, and then it is still frustrating because there's just still not a lot of information on it. But as I've said before, it's important to still cover these ones. So this one actually also doesn't take place in Ireland, but it is the disappearance of an Irish man. So 44-year-old Kieran Burke was from Rathfarnham. He was actually married and had 3 kids. He's described as 6 foot tall. He had black hair and it was actually kind of longish. It was down to, kind of down to his ears, not as far as his shoulders, let's say. But I'll put up a picture so you can see what I mean. He had blue eyes. Now, it seems that in April 2000, Kieran went on a 2-week holiday to San Francisco. And from what I can gather, he went on his own. It wasn't like a family holiday, it was just a trip he went on. He actually then booked into the Yosemite National Park. So he booked in from the 4th to the 6th of April. So he was planning to stay 2 nights. Now, just to give you a bit of information on Yosemite National Park, the entire park is 759,000 acres. So I'm going to put up a few comparisons of other areas. Pretty much basically the Phoenix Park here, if you're in Ireland, is 1,750 acres. So you can just try imagine how big it is. I'll also put up in comparison some other cities and countries to give you an idea of how huge it is. So it's the size of Rhode Island, and it has 800 miles of trails for hiking on. Now, Kieran had previous hiking experience. He has even hiked the Himalayas. So we could kind of assume that that's why he booked in here, to do something that he did love. And so he had booked into Curry Village in Yosemite Valley. And as I said, from the 4th to the 6th. But he was last seen on the 5th in Curry Village. So I don't know if they mean near his campsite or, in a restaurant or on one of the trails. It doesn't actually say. Now, when he was seen last, he was wearing his leather bomber jacket. So some people have commented that, you're not, especially an experienced hiker, you're not hiking in a bomber jacket, a leather jacket. So, some people think that maybe that wasn't actually his plan that day when he went missing. So Curry Village itself, that area in Yosemite Park, because Yosemite is obviously so huge that it's then broken up into different parts, that is 48 acres and the highest elevation is just over 4,000 feet. Now, his car would be found in the Curry Village car park. It was a rental car, and so that's found there. Now, when he doesn't check out, park staff are then obviously, made aware of this, and so then they contact the authorities because he hasn't checked out and all his belongings are in his tent. Now I'll put some pictures up because I don't obviously know if this is what they looked like back in 2000, but it doesn't look like your typical tents. It's a bit more of a sturdy thing, but they probably did also have an actual campsite where you could bring your own tents and stuff, but it would probably be more feasible when you're coming over from Ireland that you would just rent one of their tents that are already there. Now, I don't know how soon the park staff actually made the police aware because the search wasn't actually started until the 11th of April. So like a whole 5 days from when he was supposed to check out. So I don't know how soon they kind of gave him to come back. His brother, Lorcan, actually came over from Ireland to be part of the search. I did read that in the beginning of the search, it was like that week, it was sunny and warm, especially when Kieran would have been, visiting if he had been planning to do some walking or hiking. It was nice and warm. But later in that week, storms did come, storms developed. So obviously that would have kind of hindered some of the searching. But it does say that extensive searches were carried out. And there were actually appeals for people who had been in the area to come forward, obviously, to see if they, to tell if they had seen anything, but also anyone who may have taken photos or videos because they might have taken a picture or a video of Kieran without even knowing it or realising it. Unfortunately, though, if anyone did come forward, it didn't help. The authorities basically believe that Kieran either got lost on a trail or that he was injured and then obviously couldn't make his way back. Like I said, 800 miles of trails in Yosemite National Park. So yeah, again, I'll put up the information on how to contact anybody if you have information. But unfortunately, in the 20 plus years, there doesn't seem to be any leads. The next one again is one that is just quite short. I'll be honest, I was actually thinking would I put 10 into a video to make the video that bit longer. But to be honest, I kind of feel like by putting more in, it's diluting down the little bit of information that I even have. So again, I can just do another compilation after this. I can do some of women as well, but typically it obviously is more men that go missing. Colin Turner, who was either 32 or 33, was from Ringaskiddy in Cork. He's described as 5'10", with dark brown hair and a stocky build, with blue eyes. He actually had long hair at the time of his disappearance, I believe, and it was described that he would wear this in a ponytail. He was last seen on Valentine's Day, so the 14th of February 2007, at Wynn's Hotel, Lower Abbey Street. He was wearing a black leather jacket, baseball cap, and he either had black Doc Martens or Caterpillar boots on. That is literally all the information there is on Colin Turner, as much as I could find. If you have any other information on this one or any of the other guys, you can share it below or email me, and I can add it to the video. Other than that, yeah, that's all the information there is on him. Again, I'll put up the contact details for the Gardaí. So guys, the last one again is not taking place in Ireland, but there is the Irish connection. And this is set in Manchester. So 29-year-old Curtis Higgins was from Denton in Manchester. He's described as 6'4" with green blue eyes, brown hair, which in different pictures, sometimes it's short and then in other ones it's kind of longer, although I will show you some CCTV and you can see his hair in that. Curtis is described as kind, caring, and he was well known in the Manchester area. He's actually an active Labour member. And on the 31st of July 2016, he left home for work. So he worked at the Manchester Royal Infirmary. Now, I don't know what his career or job role was there. He finished here at around 4:45, and I don't know what he done after. There doesn't seem to be any kind of information on his activity. But at 9 p.m, he texted his mum. So he lived at home with his mum, Denise, and he texted her just saying, "I'm not coming home," and then a kiss. And his phone has been turned off since. His mum, Denise, would describe all of this as, quote, completely out of character. So they, even though his phone was off, they were able to find some activity on his bank card. He actually bought a train ticket from Piccadilly to Holyhead, and then it says that he bought a ferry ticket from Holyhead to Belfast. But then he is seen on CCTV in Birkenhead. He bought a ticket basically to go onto the ferry there, the Stena line. So he went on the Stena Mersey from Birkenhead to Belfast. So he is actually seen on CCTV here, which I'll show you. So I don't know then if the other details were incorrectly reported, or I don't know, would he have bought the boat tickets to then decide what he wanted to do, or perhaps to, delay anyone being able to find him? I don't know, because obviously the "I'm not coming home" does kind of seem a bit more, not sinister, but I do feel like it's quite specific though in the wording of "I'm not coming home." It's not, "I'm staying somewhere tonight" or this or that. It does seem kind of final. Police do believe that he spoke to two men on board the ferry. Now, I don't know if that's because staff said that they saw him speaking or they had more CCTV that they just haven't released. But he is believed to have spoken to two men, and one was wearing a hoodie and jeans and the other is wearing a hoodie and shorts. And obviously these men didn't come forward, but they have been asked to come forward, and the police have said that it's not because they're suspected of being involved in his disappearance. They just think that maybe he would have said to them kind of, through conversation, "This is where I'm going," or "This is what I'm planning to do," or something, if he had plans once he landed in Belfast. Curtis has family connections here in Ireland, and that's why I'm covering the case. So he has connections to Longford and to Mayo. In fact, he has expressed wishes that he wanted to visit his late grandmother's home in Westport. When he was last seen, he was wearing navy trousers and his work top, which was pale green, top with the Royal Infirmary logo or embroidery on it. I think they do suspect that perhaps he just kind of went off to do whatever, to kind of just start something new or end something perhaps. But his mom has said that all she wants is for him to just text and say, "Okay," or "I'm okay, I'm fine," and then that's it, that it'll just be left at that. However, obviously that hasn't seemed to happen yet. Again, I will put up information on how to contact the Gardaí or the police over in Manchester. And again, that's it, guys. There's just 5 more missing men. My other compilation of missing men did do well, so I'm hoping that this one will do well and get a bit more coverage out there. Thank you for watching. Again, I'm sorry that this wasn't a video that I was able to record the normal way that I do, because I do prefer the videos where I was about to say where I can see you and you can see me. Where you can see me, but I also feel like I'm talking, because I'm talking to the camera, so I feel like I'm chatting to you. Whereas this one's a bit weirder. But yeah, just at the moment I can't it's quite hard to actually find time to set up and record the way I would. So I'm having to kind of do this in between stuff. yeah, just a lot going on at the moment with family and life and all, you know yourselves. So come here, not going to ramble. I thank you as always for your support, and I will have this video and another video out this week. Again, the other one's going to be like this one, but then I'm hoping to be back to normal. So yeah, we shall see you in the next video. Thanks, bye.